Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Magic here. I'm going to be doing some more casting tonight before my analysis, which begins at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And actually, it's not Standard Time any longer. It's actually the Daylight Savings Time. So don't be confused that D is pretty interchangeable with that S. And we're going to give you some good casting right now of VPPetrify, who apparently plays for VP Gaming. And he plays actually random. He's a top 8 Masters level competitor. So, I mean, he is a pretty good player here. Let's unpause the game and let's have this rolling. Alright, so Petrify has spawned at the bottom left here as our red Protoss guy. And his opponent apparently is Dannskjold. His plan is our blue Terran, who is spawned at the top right here on Zelnaka Caverns. I almost forgot the map name. It's been a while since I've seen this map around, and well, I'm glad people are still playing on it because it is that good of a map. Now I am a little bit late today. I realized that I actually had some technical difficulties. XSplits apparently had an update, and I had to set everything back up really fast, so I just got done doing that, and now we are rolling. So not much going on as of yet. It looks like the SCV is just going to be making that supply depot at the wall. I'm not going to be building it at or in the proximity of the command center, just going to be plopping it down at the wall. I'm going to make sure that things don't get into his base to scout, but it looks like Petrify already does have a fast probe out. He's going to be able to get in there before that wall is completed, so he's going to get a lot of information out of that before anything actually happens. And look at that SV actually just waiting to plop down that command or that barracks, and that probe looks like he's going to harass that SV. The SV is not going to be able to plop that down. Almost getting cornered there. It looks like he's going to be just fine, but yeah, another SV is going to be pulled off here. And Petrify is going to get slightly ahead because of that. You know, this SV is going to be late to making that barracks there. Yeah, definitely a little bit late since he's coming all the way over there. And now this probe even has free reign to harass that second SCV. So, I mean, Dannskjold is not going to be able to... He's going to have to... Well, actually, Petrify is pulling back, so looks like he is going to be alright. I'm just saying he could have definitely harass that. Meanwhile, back at his own base, it looks like both refineries have been stolen here, so Petrify is not going to get any gas at all. His gateway is just about to finish here, and he's going to be forced to plop down a second gateway without a Cybernex core. Just for some early defense, if Terran decided to go for 3 barracks, he would be in a lot of trouble, so we'll see. When he gets that Cybernex core, when he gets that second gateway, he's going to have to take out a couple of these refineries before doing so. Considering any gateway tech, or Cybernex tech requires gas. Anything except for a Zealot requires gas. So I mean, Dannskjold, I don't know, I feel like I'm pronouncing the name kind of funny. Dannskjold, I don't know, his name's kind of one of those names is kind of really annoying to pronounce. But looks like Petrify going to be going ahead, taking a ninja expansion at the top here, at the natural third of Terran. So we'll see if our Terran buddy here is going to be able to spot that or not. If he spots it, Petrify could be in a lot of trouble here. Now, it looks like there is a second barracks finishing up here. Right at the natural of our player Petrify here. Bunker's going down, so he's going to continue with this pressure here. And actually, the first bunker is going ahead to make a tech lab, so he's going to be able to make some Marauders with that, get some Marines out, and just occupy that bunker. It's going to be really hard for Petrify to do anything after that. Meanwhile, it looks like he did plop down the Cybernex core before a second gateway. He's just going to go ahead and expand with that. But yeah, now the Zealots are actually coming out. Actually, 2 of them, I was going to say, are they going to run right by that bunker? It appears not. They're going to run right by there and go up to the Terran base and see how much damage he can do. Now, there is a Marauder coming out here, so I don't believe he's going to be able to do all that much. Concussive Shells is on the way as well. Meanwhile, the Nexus is just about to finish for Petrify, and we'll see how many probes he's able to crank out with that. That's going to help him out a lot. If he's able to hold off his bunker, Petrify is going to be in a great position after that. Meanwhile, it looks like a couple of Marines coming up here trying to do as much damage as they can as another bunker goes down. One Zealot in the back here trying to defend, but as you know, Zealots are pretty easily kited by Marines. Now, they don't have stim, they're not able to run too fast, but at the same time, they do have the same exact movement speed as the Zealots, so I mean, they're going to be able to, not take too much damage. And it looks like they're going to be picked off by those probes. Meanwhile, a Stalker just came out, and look at that. Our Terran buddy here even throwing down a supply depot in front of that bunker, making it extra difficult for any stalkers, or I mean any zealots to get over there. And now there's 2 marauders in there going to be picking away at a couple of buildings here. A couple of probes were lost as well. Meanwhile, it looks like a couple of zealots in there going to be able to do some damage to these SCVs. The SCVs now running for their lives now. If you're Terran or Zerg, I'm sure you know workers are not very good against zealots. Zealots can do so much damage. And now there's a marauder out, so he's going to turn around and attack those zealots, and those zealots are going to be falling here. Meanwhile, it looks like the SV did complete that supply depot. That bunker is attacking that gateway, and the pylon was actually taken out as well. So now that second gateway does not have power at all, it looks like. Meanwhile, at our Terran main here, that those two zealots were cleaned up, and now the marauders are outside the bunker, going to be picking away at a couple of probes. Probes coming in for a surround. Looks like they are going to be able to surround. Yeah, it's getting surrounded, but there are 2 more marauders going to be occupying that bunker anyway. And while there's a couple of stalkers out now, stalkers take heavy damage from marauders, so you gotta be really careful. But at the same time, you can't really use zealots in this situation either. So I mean, at this point, Petrify is kind of screwed. But at the same time, with that extra expansion, you know, if he's able to hold this off, he's going to be in pretty good position here. Now it is 26 probes to only 15, now 14 SCVs. The SCV over here just got picked up, and well, Petrify is still going to be in a very good position here. Now, nope, neither player making workers. Okay, now Petrify is making workers. So no matter what, Petrify is going to be in a great position if he's able to take care of this. Now there is only 1 more marauder left, so I don't know. Terran just didn't deal with this all that well, you know, just kind of doing a funky play. Players are just not very used to that from either side. You know, if you're the aggressor and you're doing this kind of weird play, you know, you might make a lot of mistakes, and that's just kind of normal unless you do it on a consistent basis. You know, it's going to be really kind of weird. So anyways, 1 zealot out here doing a little bit of damage to that marauder, but you know, they're now inside that bunker, and Petrified trying to keep as many guys alive as possible. Now zealot does go down. A couple of probes here are going to be trying to do what they can, maybe a little bit of a surround here, but well, marauders going after those stalkers, so I'm just doing as much as they can. A couple of probes being pulled off here just to make sure that those marauders do not attack that stalker. That is very crucial at this point. You want to definitely have those marauders attack your workers, not attack those armored stalkers. So marauders do twice as much damage there. Yeah, that's just not very awesome. Meanwhile, it looks like it's focusing on the pylon. The pylon could go down. It goes down all these gateways. Actually, these 2 up here are going to be just fine. These 2 down here, definitely on power now. And Petrify actually doesn't have a lot of money. You know, he doesn't have a lot of money. He's been spending it. He's been getting a lot of workers. Let's see. The worker count is now 19 probes to 16 SCVs. So Petrify, you're still losing a couple of workers here. Meanwhile, he did get a couple of guys at the top of Terran's base, but he looks like he put down a bunker. Going to be just fine with that. Meanwhile, it looks like Terran is continuing on to kill off that Cybernetic core. Now, if the Cybernetic core goes down and Petrify does not have a backup, he could be in a lot of trouble here. I mean, zealots alone are not going to be able to take this out. You know, once the marauders are in that bunker, there's just too much of a fortified position here from Terran. And now a couple of zealots coming in from the back, just warped in somewhere. It looks like they might be going for that barracks. Meanwhile, the Stalker's doing as much damage or as much defense as possible, but that Cybernetic core definitely going to be going down. And now he's coming out to kill off that barracks. So the barracks are going to be forced to lift up, and well, looks like he's going to be using it for spotting, not going to be using it back at his base. Just going to see what he can see. And Terran's still down on workers here. It's 20 probes to 18 SCVs. And while that first bunker goes down, there are a couple of marauders in there almost dead, just killed now. Now this last bunker has nobody inside, and Terran, I don't know, Protoss able to just take that out. Very surprising considering he has this expansion up. And just very well played here from Petrify. And I don't know, I feel like Dannskjold, yeah, definitely made a lot of mistakes here, losing those marauders, not putting them in that second bunker, you know, things like that. So now he's trying to build a couple of Marines here from that barracks that is now in the the Protoss main here. But that Zealot not going to be able to, or not going to allow him to kill any probes off, it looks like. And well, Protoss is still ahead, you know, with that second base. He's cranking out a lot of probes. Looks like an SV coming over to scout it. He's looking around for things, and well, Protoss was hot on his trail, but now it looks like the pylon is in trouble, so he's coming back to defend it. Zealot warped in at the nick of time, and now these Marauders on the run for it. They do have the concussive shells, but they do not have stim, not going to be able to run away too easily, but that bunker is definitely going to help out if Protoss decides to keep on attacking there. Meanwhile, it looks like the bunker now, or the barracks now lifted up, looking around the Protoss base here. Just gonna be checking things out. There is a Zealot out there still. Gonna be looking at things. I really wish Petrify would go after this tech lab. That tech lab does have some pretty crucial scout information here. You know, he knows that Protoss is not expanding right now. So I mean that might make it look like, oh, you know, he probably has an expansion somewhere else, or it might make it look like, oh, I'm teching up or something like that, or maybe I'm massing a big army. You know, I guess it does kind of keep him in the dark, but at the same time, you know, it kind of tells the Terran player that there might be an expansion somewhere. So I really wish he would just take it out and keep him in the dark even more. Alright, so now, let's see, a couple of Zealots and a couple of Sentries going to be just staking it out at the bottom of that ramp there. It's going to be containing the Terran for as long as possible. Now, there is a starport up. He does have a tech lab on there. It looks like he's even getting a cloaked Banshee as well as the stem. He's also getting a tech lab, so it looks like he's pretty much doing a like 1-1-1 type of build from now, and now he's just even adding on a whole bunch of barracks. He does have a second command center, so he's cranking out some extra SCVs here, just building up his forces to, you know, to do some pressure while getting up that good expansion going. Meanwhile, it looks like the SV has scouted that expansion of Petrify, so Petrify looks like he's just adding on a couple of buildings here. I don't know if I feel like that's okay, because, I mean, once this expansion's found, it's going to be really hard for Protoss to really keep it. So now here comes the Banshee, going to be actually doing a lot of damage here. Petrify actually just getting a cannon up, very good timing on this. He just got a forge, now he even has some stalkers out, so he must have spotted it one way or another. And while the Banshee doing a bunch of damage, that cannon gets up. Looks like a couple well, no, he's going straight for the cannon. I really wish he would just go for the probes, but he's going for the cannon now, and the cannon looks like it's actually going to be going down, so Petrify might be losing a couple of extra probes here, or the stalkers. Either way, it's not going to be good for him. But there's a secondary cannon going up. He does have a robotics with an observer coming out, so he will be able to spot it in due time, but at the same time, this Banshee getting up so many kills. Already 8 kills on that Banshee. I believe all 8 were workers, as that one stalker is still pretty much half dead right now. And now the Banshee now moved to the back here, and Petrify going to be sitting alright. Just losing a couple of workers there. It looks like he is still way ahead on the workers. 10 workers ahead, it's 42 to 32. And, well, Terran just secured his natural expansion. And, well, this is going to be pretty hard for Petrify to hold. This is kind of an awkward position to be in. You know, if Terran could just easily bust down these rocks and assault this base, you know, and then also do a secondary attack with a drop or something in the main. So, since the bases are so spread out for Protoss, it's going to be extremely hard for Terran, or for Protoss to actually defend both bases. So now it looks like a Zealot just getting in there to do a little bit of scouting. Now the Observer just kind of roaming around, see when he can, and it looks like Petrify going to be moving against this expansion. This is actually a pretty good time for this, just to pick off as many guys as possible. And it looks like, well, with those SVs back there, I don't know if they're able to actually repair with all those force fields. Doing what they can. The tanks did go down. It looks like the SV is going to be pretty much useless, except for absorbing damage. And now, well, with that Cloak Banshee, this attack is probably going to be a little bit thwarted. And the game's going to continue on here. But, well, all these mules just kind of sitting here. You're going to have a huge blunder for Dannskjold. And, we'll see what else. What is he cranking out right now? He's cranking out just a lot of Marines, it looks like. Lots of Marines, not a lot of other stuff. Looks like one tank is now finally being produced. But yeah, lots of Marines, so I don't feel like that's the best choice right now, as Petrify does have a lot of stalkers. And with that robotics facility, you could easily just add on, you know, the bay for it and then get those Colossus going. Looks like he's not going to be doing that, though. He is getting up a Twilight Council, going to be getting up some good upgrades with that, I believe. He's also getting his +1. So yeah, that's just going to allow him to get some like stalkers. Oh, and there's a small engagement here. Marines, of course, stimming, taking some extra damage there, and, well, you know, Petrify's got to know that there's just a lot of barracks being constructed right now. And actually, they all have the tech, or the reactors on them, so no tech labs. It's just one tech lab, so I mean, there's really not going to be a lot of Marauders with that. You know, he's going to be spending his gas on these tanks, on these Banshees, and, well, you know, I don't really know if I like that, because Marauders are just so good against those Stalkers. You know, that concussive shell helps out against Zealots significantly. And, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, tanks are awesome, but the kind of pushing you got to do, you know, I'd say definitely do a more aggressive infantry-based play here because of their mobility. You know, these Marines are going to be able to take down this rock and push against this expansion. And I guess that's kind of his thought right now. Like, I'm just going to build up this big, strong force. I just keep assaulting this expansion and take it out. which will allow Protoss to actually expand, and maybe he'll be able to hold it, or maybe do some counterattacking. Yeah, he's actually doing a counterattack right now. Very, very smart from Petrify right now. You know, he has that slower army, and so does Terran. Terran's not going to be able to defend this position very easily. His counterattack is going to be very significant. And actually, all the SPs are being killed off right now. Only, well, yeah, the SP count just dropping so fast right now. 53 probes still remaining for Petrify. It looks like he's going to be taking his natural expansion. Now, since that tech lab was not taken out, the tech lab does spot it, so he's got to know, yeah, Protoss is expanding once again. But there's really nothing that Terran can do about it. You know, this slow army, all these Marines, these tanks. Now, Marines are mobile, but you know what really helps their mobility is that medevac. You know, get those medevacs to heal them and to transport them across the map. I mean, it just makes it so much easier to do things. So, looks like Petrify's forces have been cleaned up. Looks like nothing is left in the Terran base. He even has a couple of units in the back here that he's stored away as they're being produced. And, well, Terran does have a sizable force here, but, well, Protoss is going for some Dark Templars. He has 5 Dark Templar out somewhere. Where are they? They are right here. Going to be going up to that natural, possibly taking out the orbital, and then Terran is not going to have much after that. Now, Terran, I thought he produced... Okay, he must have lost his... whatchamacallit? The Raven. You know, so he's going to have to scan. And, you know, if he loses this orbital command, that's going to be extremely difficult, since Protoss is going to be sitting pretty good on the income fronts. Terran is still behind on that, and, well, looks like this one Dark Templar cleaned up with 4 kills, and now there's medevac out, going to be repairing a couple of these SCVs. Meanwhile, it looks like this orbital command is going to be going down. There's just not enough scans. Actually, yeah, he does have a lot of scans. Why is... Okay, Terran should definitely be... Okay, well, at least he lifted it up. He could have definitely held that if he... You know, just scanned it. You know, he definitely has a lot of scans. I don't know what's going on. Just spending it on mules. I guess just saying, you know, making the choice, okay, I really don't have any economy right now. I need to play a little bit safer, get up the economy, and just hope the Dark Templar doesn't just destroy me. Because right now there are no Ravens out. You know, he's producing a Raven finally. But actually, Protoss Petrify here is taking a 3rd base. So, you know, he definitely has a lot of probes here. Small drop here in the back, gonna be cleaned up with all those sentries, but or those zealots. But a lot of these probes can easily be transferred to that 3rd once it's up. And Petrify is just gonna have such a good economy. 56 probes, only 1 SCV. I mean, 1 SCV, and you know those mules looks like they did die off. So now he has 2. Now, or actually 3. But yeah, that's just not enough. Dannskjold holding on to the last minute, trying to do what he can, but. You know, Petrify definitely going to be taking this game. And look at this, even a barracks here just floating there. Kind of a blunder there. You kind of want to use it at some, you know, in some way. You know, of course it is kind of being used there in the corner there, spotting for, you know, things flying around. But as you can see, Protoss does not have anything flying around. He does have a war prism, but I really don't think that would be the best reason to do it in this kind of situation. You got to be really careful with this kind of play. Now, if it was just like a standard game, then yeah, keep a barracks there, but in this kind of position, it's like, okay, you only got so many units, Protoss has so much stuff, and, well, I don't know, I feel like Dannskjold just had his army at the wrong place at the wrong time, lost his main, and then lost his natural because of those Dark Templars. So, I mean, just a 1-2 kind of game going on here for Petrify, cleaning it up, and, well, these drops doing as much damage as they can, but, well, not to be doing too much. Okay, that's all I was going to say. Is he going to actually do some damage? Nope. And, well, Dannskjold doing one final push here, and then I believe he's going to be forced to GG. Because he only has 3 tanks and a handful of Marines. You know, Petrify doesn't have a ton of things, but I mean, he has so many bases. If you lost the base, you'd be like, whatever. You know, okay, I lost the base. Looks like Terran doing a good job, though, of dropping and then securing a position with that drop. Just getting tanks into a good position to siege up and kill off that box facility. Now Dannskjold. I wish he would have kept a guy there, but he could have just spread out his tanks a little bit and then done some damage. I mean, at this point, you know, you can't really just play it safe. You can't really just say, okay, I'm going to contain him when he has such a better, you know, such an amazing economy. Compared to you, and then he even has a Dark Templar running around your base, killing SVs off. So I mean, you really have 0 economy, so you can't really just you know, sit there and try to do it on, you try to pick off things. You gotta go in there and assault and try to take them out. But yeah, as you can see, it's just not even gonna be enough. There are 2 Ravens out now, finally, but they're both with the army, so Petrify taking the win there, and they're just showing it out a little bit. Because, yeah, definitely a weird game from Dannskjold. And, yeah. He's talking about, is the gas thing standing for you? And he says, no, I just decided to do that, whatever. That's what I like to see, actually. I like to see players just kind of try things out like that. You know, like, I'm seeing this play, I'm like, oh, okay, so if Protoss has 0 gas, you can't get any stalkers, you can't get any sentries, you can't force field the ramp, so I mean, it's like, you can just get in there with a couple of barracks. You know, barracks units coming in, and it's just like, you can't really do much about it. He only has zealots. So, I mean, I feel like it might be a really, really good play. They just maybe, you know, if he did it a little bit differently, he could have, you know, definitely won the game with that. Let's speed it up, actually. I don't usually like to speed it up in casting, but I'm just talking about his expo. I still almost won. Yeah, well, not really. I don't think so, but I mean, he did come. Well, he did come close with that bunker. That was really cool. I forgot about that. Just after that, I was like, Terran was in such a bad position. The bold player saying, oh, I thought I had that game won. No, Petrify definitely playing really well. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the game of, yeah. Wow, apparently okay, apparently BattleNet's just being a dick. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I'm actually going to start doing replays individually a little bit more, so I am going to turn off the stream and then start a new one afterwards. So this is Magic signing off.